Welcome back. Hello, everybody. For any one of my baseball playing listeners out there, I hope your off-season or high school trials have gone great. And great. Sorry. I've been busting my butt in the weight room and at Sauce Athletics facility, doing what I can to jump on the spring competition. I'm Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Today, I'm joined by a special guest, someone who has been in my shoes as a young travel ball player and currently is working his way up the Colorado Rockies organizational ladder. Austin Emener is a left-handed pitcher from Macon, Georgia. We met through our mutual strength and conditioning coach this winter, and he agreed to come on the pod today. Austin, thanks for being here. How are you?
Doing well, man. Excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. So how excited are you to get back to your team?
Man, I can't even describe it. The first few months were so much fun. I was excited to get back home, see family and everything. But I mean, it was good. It was a really, really good group of guys, and we had a lot of fun together. And I'm really, really excited to get back and get into my first full season.
So you got drafted by the Rockies a couple of years ago. So do you remember what you were feeling when you got the call?
Yeah. So I got drafted this past July. And honestly, I was like the last person to know. I was up in Katuitt, playing in the Cape Cod League. We were on the road. We were actually on the bus on our way to a game, and I was fully dressed out and everything because, I kind of fell down the draft board, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to get drafted or not. So I was getting ready to throw in a game. So the phone was up. I was locked in, just on the way to the game, preparing myself, and I just got a text, and it was from my buddy Bryson Parrish, and he was like, "Yo, congrats, man!" And I texted him back. I was like, "Congrats on what?" And he was like, "Dude, you just got drafted." I thought he was. I thought he was joking, but sure enough, the text just started flooding in, and I wasn't even watching, but
Oh
my
my
family was
God.
watching, and they had a pretty good time watching
Hmm.
it.
So yeah, who was more excited, you or your parents?
Um, I don't know. It was about even. It's different. It's a different kind of feeling, I think. For me, it's excitement. Because I'm moving on, and I didn't really know if I was gonna make it to this point. But my parents, they expected it. For the most part, they've encouraged me and told me that I've been it that you know had I've had the experience and the determination to do this for a long time for when I was growing up. So I'd say it's even, but it's just kind of different. For them it's more of like a proud moment.
So we'll come back to professional baseball in a little bit. But you grew up in Macon, but you chose to play baseball at the University of North Alabama. So how come?
Yeah, I picked UNA out of high school. I didn't really have many scholarship offers. And that was honestly my main concern was, I wanted to go to school, and I didn't want to have student loans. I didn't want to put too much stress on my parents. And UNA made me a great offer, and I thought that it was just the best fit as far as, opportunity level, playing time right off the bat. And then, the money was a big factor because that was before NIL was a thing as well. Um, yeah, and I really, really enjoyed the coaching staff there. They progressed me to. They played a huge role into where I'm at right now. So, yeah.
And so what made you transfer, what made you choose East Tennessee State University to transfer to?
Um, let's see. I entered the transfer portal after my sophomore year. And my first call was Coach Penzino over at ETSU, and we've got a long history going back to, I guess, my junior fall. Um, he actually gave me my first offer at Army West Point. And it didn't work out. It was a really, really great opportunity and offer, but I just felt like I wasn't ready to commit at the time. But we ended things. We were still on good terms afterwards. I really, really liked him as a coach and as a person. And we really clicked just like right off the bat. And it was just kind of funny. He ended up going to East Tennessee State, and I was his first call. He was the first one that I heard from, and we really just kind of went from there. Going to school in Johnson City isn't so bad either. You're right in the mountains, and the team was great. I loved everybody that I met there. One of the best years of my life, and I really enjoyed my time there.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a great offer. They made the money work, and I had a lot of playing time that I knew that I'd be able to compete for. So it was just a really, really good opportunity for me.
Yeah, that does sound great. So overall, how much different is playing college ball compared to high school?
It's night and day. You know, in high school, you just kind of you do what you think you need to be doing. You're surrounded by guys. Some guys are just playing because they have nothing better to do after school. Some actually have ambitions. Others are doing it just to throw it on their transcripts. And then you go off to college, and it becomes a business. And these days, more than my freshman year, it really is a business. Everybody's there scratching and clawing for playing time. Everybody deserves to be there. Because to make it to college ball at any level, you have to be very good. And I learned that very fast. But yeah, the work ethic it's just way higher, and the expectations are way higher as well. That's the biggest difference, I would say, and managing your time properly.
Okay. So would you say you developed your worth ethic in college, or did you have great self-motivation before you left high school?
I'd say a little bit of both. I really didn't have a very good work ethic in high school. Looking back at it, I have my mom and dad to thank for that, and my coaches, because there were a lot of times where I just was really reluctant to go to the field and get my work in, go to the gym. I didn't really lift in high school all that much. I did um, a lot of like training to prevent injuries and stuff, but there really was no strength building. And then I got into college, and there was a huge learning curve there because I was used to having my dad there, having my mom there to be like, hey, like you need to go to the field, and they're not there anymore. And the coaches, more or less, it's if you really want it, then they'll work with you, but if you don't, then you can't blame them for not spending as much time with you. And then they're not going to drag you to the field every day. Um, so I had to develop that very, very fast. And I think probably by my sophomore year, that was when I really like dedicated myself. And that's where I kind of learned the work ethic that I have now, where it's day in and day out, like you're hitting it 100%, giving it everything you've got.
So obviously, you and I both work out with Coach Steven Muzan, but you actually had to overcome a pretty bad back injury. So how has working out with Coach Steve helped you this offseason?
Um, I mean, I don't even know where to start. Um, I wasn't expecting to squat anything more than 225 ever again, like in my life. After that, after I fractured those two vertebrae, there's not really much that you can do other than rehab it. And I didn't really get after the rehab all that well. And it bit me, um, in the long run. Um, but I was at home, and Hudson told me about this guy. He was like, "Hey, I want to set you up with this strength trainer." And I was kind of reluctant, it's kind of tough for me to trust anybody to like actually like let them in and like work with me and have those conversations like, hey, this is where you need to get better. This is where you need to improve. Um, and Steven just really impressed me just right off the bat. With his drive and with his purpose and with his method. Um, it just really impressed me, and I dedicated myself to working with what he told me to do, and I mean, just in these last 4 months, I mean, my bench has gone way up. I mean, I'm squatting. I hit a new personal record today for squat at 355. I'm
Hmm.
deadlifting 450. I'm doing stuff that I never thought I'd be able to do again.
Oh my God. Great job. Good for you, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, like I said, it's hard work like every day. I mean, I can't remember the last time I had a true off day, you know.
Mhm. So, how is working out with Coach Steve helping out your pitching?
I mean, like I said, night and day. I put the ball down shortly after I got home, and I was used to the mobility and the range of motion and the strength base that I had. And then when I picked the ball back up in like late November, I mean, I was in a completely new body. I got home and I weighed about 235. I had a lot of bad weight on me. And by the time I picked the ball up again, like a month and a half, 2 months later, I had already dropped like 20 pounds. Um, and my range of motion was through the roof. Um, I completely forgot how to throw a baseball pretty much. So I had to relearn new mechanics and everything. And I'm a lot more. I feel like I'm a lot more consistent with my mechanics now, and I have a lot more strength uh, in my throwing, thanks to him.
So, I know in the year and a half that I've been working out with Coach Steve, I've gotten so much smarter and stronger. And for me, I'm trying to have an incredible spring season. But for you in the Rockies organization, what's your overall goal for 2024?
Um, I kind of find it better to not really have too many expectations. My first few years of college, like I had a ton of expectations for myself um, instead of trusting my routine. Instead, I have a routine now that I really trust it, and so really my mindset um, this past year, I guess, has been not to have too many expectations and to just trust my routine. And I mean, the mindset is if I've done my routine to my best ability each and every day, then I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do my best, and I mean, whatever happens happens. You try to execute to the best of your ability. Some days you have it, some days you don't, but I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm really looking forward to getting back and competing at a high level. And I mean, I'm working with some of the pitching development guys with the Rockies on some stuff that I've been working with Steven as well at home. So we've got common goals that I've been working on, and hopefully that helps me to perform at a higher level.
So time machine question. I'm 14 years old, so if you could go back in time and tell your 14-year-old self something, what advice would you share?
Hit the weights, hit the weights. Um, Looking back at it now, strength plays such a huge factor into everything. Um, Stability, mobility, um, injury prevention. Um, you got to protect yourself, and the more strength you have, then the more power you can put behind the ball at the bat or on the mound. I'd say that, and then I'd also say just to form a routine. Yeah, I keep saying that, but it's the truth to me. Yeah, you gotta. The brain works off of consistencies, so you form those consistencies, and everything becomes a lot easier. You're able to trust yourself a lot more. Um, so yeah, those two things. That's what I would do.
Okay, Austin, I appreciate your answers so far. And now we've come to the final part, the not so rapid fire questions. You can answer with as much or as little info as you want. So, you ready?
Let's hear it.
So, I think you said you like Marvel movies. So, what are some of your favorite comic book movies?
Ooh, that's a good question. Comic book movies.
Hmm.
Mm. I mean, my favorite is probably I'd say Captain America: The Winter Soldier. But I mean, if I let's see, top three would probably be Winter Soldier. I got to put Avengers Endgame in there, and then let's see, I do probably Iron Man. Iron Man's
Hmm.
really good. I like
Those
him.
are I have Iron Man. I have Iron Man Winter Soldier, but I got Thor Ragnarok as one of
That's
my
a good
top three. And then four, I have Infinity War.
one. Okay,
Hmm.
that's good. I think Ragnarok might be a hot take, but I like that one. That one's really good.
So my mom loves to know about game day superstitions. So do you have any?
I've got a few actually. I told you about my routine. So with
Hmm.
me, like everything has to be the exact same. I wake up no matter the game time. I wake up the same time. I go to bed the same time the night before. Um, every time that I know that I'm going to throw, I eat the same thing. I drink the same thing for breakfast. I would go in and I would get my pregame work done. I would go over scouting reports. I would go see my trainer. We get our pregame work in, stretching and body heat stuff like that. Then I go get lunch. I usually like to keep it light, just go with a sandwich or something. Um, and then while I'm in the game, um, I mean I got to wear the same stuff. As far as like undershirts and everything else goes. Um, and then during the game, I've got the same warm up. And then the one thing that I like actually will freak out about is these days I've got when I come back in between innings, I've got the same routine. I talk to my catcher real quick. And then I sit down on the bench and I've got water on my left, I've got Gatorade on my right, and then I've got my notebook and a towel right behind me. So I've
Yeah.
got everything I need right there. If the pitching coach needs me, he'll come over and see me. Catcher needs me, he'll come over and see me. But I sit there and I chill and I relax and I kind of take my time to process what just happened and then I move on to the next inning.
Hmm. I would say you're pretty superstitious.
I would say so too.
So I think you'll probably be pitching more in the majors in the next couple of years. So what batter would you most like to face?
All time or right now?
Currently.
Currently, it's a good question.
Or they could be like in the minors now and moving up.
It's a good question. I would like to face my buddy Drew Jones at some point. He's in the minors. He'll get to the show eventually. He's a stud. But
Mhm.
I'd say big leaguer right now. I mean, I guess you got to go with Shohei or Acuna, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's really no wrong answer,
Uh,
and I'm learning that fast. But I mean, one of those two. That would be pretty awesome.
mm. So this one's like a pretty great question. So should teenagers be throwing curveballs?
Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble, man. Um, I I say no. I grew up with a fastball and changeup. Um, we were me and my family, really me and my dad, we were big believers in arm care and preventing injuries of any kind. You know, when I get into coaching, maybe I'll change my mind with new like just science development and everything. But for now, I mean, I'm against it. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if you've got good fastball and changeup command, I don't think there's a need for it at an early age. But I mean, I would say right around like 15, 16, when you get into that high school age and your body's developed, and you're able to protect yourself a little bit better. That's when I would say like, okay, it's like you can start learning an off speed of some kind.
So when did you start?
I learned my first true spinner probably around, I guess, around 15. Let's see. So
Freshman year.
it would have been sophomore year. So yeah, 15, because I'm young for my age.
Oh, okay.
I was young for my grade. I got moved up a year. Um, but yeah, I mean, I started learning it when I was about 15. Yeah, I started playing on JV. I had to elevate my game a little bit. When you get older, it's a little bit easier to hit around just two pitches. So if you have a third that you can kind of dump in there, then that's good too. I
Mhm.
personally, I'm more about sliders than I am curveballs. I think sliders are a lot better for arm health than curveballs are. I know that's also a hot take, but if you're gonna be mad, fine.
So what's the best vacation you've been on, like your entire life?
Dang, man. Oh, I've been on some pretty good ones. It's making me appreciate my parents right now, man. Let's see. We
Have
took,
you ever been on a cruise?
yeah, I went on a cruise when I was really young, but I don't remember too much about it, so I can't say that one. Even though what I do remember was really fun. I would say either our trip to the Keys, one of our trip to the Keys. We took a week long trip down there. We went all over the place. We really enjoyed that. Me and my dad, we went deep sea fishing. We spent time in Key West and all those places down there. So I would say either that or our trip out west where we went to see the Grand Canyon. We went to see oh man, what's it called? All those national parks in Utah, Canyonlands, Arches, all those places. That was a lot of fun. We went to see the Narrows. That was cool. That was a good
Did
trip.
you go to Cooperstown?
I did not go to Cooperstown. I was a little behind at that age.
Mm. I think I went when I was 12, so two summers ago. I went. It was really fun. We went to Canada and we were up there. We saw a Toronto game. It was really fun.
That's
I went on a cruise, I think two cruises when I was like 4 months old, so I don't remember anything.
yeah.
Yeah. Um and last one, what's your favorite baseball movie of all time? I think I might know it because
Moneyball. Moneyball.
Moneyball? Not what
For
I was expecting, but yes, great movie.
Moneyball. Yeah, I mean it's the most accurate one. Yeah, it's I mean the cheesy ones are good. I mean Sandlot, I mean that's up there. Little Big League, that's up there. I grew up on that one.
I
Major League is really good too.
I thought you were gonna say Summer Catch because you play in the Cape Cod League.
I've actually never seen. Is that a big movie?
Please don't watch it.
Oh, well, all right then.
Uh, I mean, I saw like the first 30 minutes. I mean, there's no need to. My
Uh,
mom hates it, my dad hates it, I hate it, so.
yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not really a huge fan of all those cheesy movies. I mean,
Mhm,
I like the realistic ones.
mhm. That's Moneyball is probably my top five.
Yeah,
Mm,
Moneyball's my favorite by far.
mhm. So I really love this. Thank you, Austin Emener. So thank you for coming by today. Did you have fun?
Oh, dude, man, I had a blast. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for a while. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. So thank you for bringing me on here. Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Mm. Is there anything else you want to add or ask me?
Um, I mean, is there anything else that you need advice on for I mean your high school season?
Um, Well, I've been asking a lot of people that, and they've given me great answers. I just mostly about tryouts, how tryouts is gonna look like, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, high school tryouts, they're all kind of the same. You go through your drills and everything. The biggest thing is just, you go out there, you be yourself. The worst thing that you could do is try too hard, try to do too much. Because then like that little bit of doubt creeps in, and then I mean your head's all over the place. So I mean, like I said, I mean you just got to trust yourself, trust your abilities, and go out there and do what you do.
So thanks again for your time and good luck with pro ball this season. I can't wait to see you in the majors for the Colorado Rockies.
There you go.
So please follow Austin at Austin Emener on Instagram. And listeners, you can help my show by subscribing to Baseball Podcasts Are Fun on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. Please check back soon for an all-new guest. Until then, that was Austin Emener. I'm Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Don't forget to swing for the fences. See ya!